Hello, my gorgeous Oshaya wellness warriors. We are going to be talking about how to trust your body again after miscarriage. After miscarriage, many women come to me and say, my body failed me. And in my world, we gently reframe it, we unweave the cord connections, the etheric cord connections to that narrative that then becomes your identity. So let's just go with facts to begin with. Miscarriage is very common. Miscarriage is rarely caused by something you did. It's not your fault. Your body was doing the best that it could with the resources that it had available. It responded to biology. So one of the exercises I do whenever a woman comes to me with this narrative and with this experience is we actually repair this part of her story. And we do this because with language, there is a lot of energy that is held within the words that are being spoken. So just a tiny sidestep. I studied linguistics at university and I know a lot about language, and I then decided to merge the energetics of language with the structural parts of language, and there were very interesting things that happened when I was able to combine the two. So the words that we use are very powerful by themselves, but there are certain words that are even more powerful than others. So because of this fact, you get to choose the words that feel good for you. And one of the biggest transformations that have happened with my clients is how we say to just stop saying that my body can't ... We get rid of that, because the thing that we're substituting it with and putting in its place is my body is learning ... such as my body is learning safety, my body is learning boundaries, my body is learning intimacy, my body is learning consent, my body is learning pleasure, my body is learning how to nurture, my body is learning how to rest without guilt. So you see how instead of being like, my body can't carry a child, or my body can't work properly, my body doesn't work properly, those phrases are very harsh. But when you reframe it to say, my body is learning how to feel safe again, it's like, oh, okay, my body's learning, it's okay, we're getting there. And what that does is it lets your emotional guard down just slightly to bring in enough safety for you to consciously invite your ideal partner into your world. And then the ideal partner or the ideal situation for conception that is able to thrive because your body feels safe, because your body has learnt by the time that you feel that you're ready to move to the next step, your body has learnt safety. And the way that you're speaking about your body and the experience itself is a lot softer, but it's not negating the fact that you have those emotions around what your body is currently in a state of. The next thing is to reconnect physically. And this is why I mentioned about the component of intimacy. And I do have videos available that are talking about intimacy and navigating that, especially after loss. And this isn't just intimacy with somebody else, this is also intimacy with yourself, because of how the emotional component may have felt like any type of touch just didn't feel safe for you. And in conscious conception, and you'll hear me talk about this a lot moving forward, the safety starts with you, and then from there, no matter how long it takes for you to feel safe, because in order for you to say yes to conception in a way that feels intentional, your whole body has to be on board with you saying yes. And this is you just making those boundaries incredibly clear, but also with the situation and environment that you choose to conceive your baby in, that, like, all parts of that situation need to feel good. So your body needs to be in alignment with you, and like you just need to be on the same wavelength as your body, because your body is going to be supporting not only you emotionally but also your baby as your baby is growing, either with you or alongside you if you are not carrying the baby, but you are growing in other ways, such as preparing your space, your emotions, your mindset, and just like rearranging your life essentially for your little one. With the intimacy part, this does not just mean self-touch in that way. We are getting creative, and I have said for so long that dating yourself first, so doing the things that you are wanting another person to do for you, and feeling as though the other person needs to do that before you start to feel good about yourself. No, start with you doing it for you first. And even if a partner is not in your world at the moment, or you have no intention of including another physical person in your experience, in your birthing experience, like that's perfectly fine. The self-love aspect of it gets to be you dating yourself first and foremost, and continuing to do it, because that then becomes your baseline for expectations around what you're available for and what you are not available for moving forward. So we're really bringing in the connection around boundaries early on, because again, with boundaries comes consent, and with consent comes a baby, if that is what you are wanting in that particular moment. With the intimacy conversation, we get to, just get really playful with it and really connect with your ability to have like really long showers, or having a bath with that really special body oil afterwards, or even putting it in the bath if that's what you feel like doing. And with the creativity that comes with feeling into the ability to reconnect with yourself physically, allowing your inner child to come out with the ways in which you get to feel into what feels safe and playful, and in a way that you want to just explore the world that you're living in a way that makes you feel comfortable. That's what we are doing in my world, especially when it comes to repairing this part of your experience. And breathing into your womb space is incredibly healing, and you can do this in isolation, or you can actually combine this with a number of different activities. Okay, and then as this is like the third piece, it's really nice because I feel like after the previous two tools that I use, so after the previous two tools that I always recommend, I love hearing the result of the third one, which is collecting evidence. Now, I will always say that with the emotional side of things, when you are having fun with how you are thinking of your body and your experience, to actually welcoming your baby, or just welcoming the next pregnancy whenever it shows up, the journey of who you are becoming along the way, like this is the bit where we get to be really expressive with all of the aspects that we feel like we want to bring in. Another thing that a lot of the women mention is that while they are just living their life and they are loving their newfound confidence around their bodies, there is like something that kind of says, oh my gosh, my cycle came back, my bleed came back and it's more regular now. And then it's like, oh, hang on, because I'm doing more body scans and I'm connecting with my body, I'm being more aware of symptoms that are I'm being aware of more symptoms that are connected to ovulation. So again, this is where we get to highlight the symptoms to look out for. And for a lot of the women in my world, they have already found that, like, oh, I get the ovulation pain, and I haven't felt that before, or I haven't felt that in a while, and all of a sudden it's just turned up. And they've actually been able to pinpoint the way in which it feels different from the typical period pain. And yes, there are things you can do to like manage that as well. But from the standpoint of the women who actually come into my world, they are here for the sensations, because it has been a while that they have spent just being really confused by their bodies and kind of switching off any emotional connection to anything. And then, so when they feel things or they're noticing patterns with how their bodies are communicating with them, this is really important and it's really, really exciting. So, some of the markers and some of the signs are questions that I would like you to make a note of. So, has your cycle returned? And at the beginning stages, it's just, has it returned? If you haven't experienced it at all for a while. And then you can start getting into, okay, so how many times has it shown up in a year? And then building on that frequency kind of shows you how you are being incredibly supportive. Okay, so next, are you ovulating? And then with the signs of ovulation, you can kind of help, and then obviously like more in-depth testing, that is really, really exciting as well, to kind of get those to get that information back to you. It can be really exciting to receive all of that information after looking at the emotional side of what you've been doing, especially if you've been feeling disconnected from the work that you are doing. And then there is obviously, are you pregnant again? So there isn't much explanation for this bit, but yeah, you can obviously know that things are working if pregnancy is your goal and you have a positive pregnancy test. So as you are getting into the swing of things, I would like to close this out with some affirmations. My body is wise. My body is capable. My body is not my enemy. Thank you ever so much for spending time with me today. And until next time, I will see you soon.